Hi lovelies, welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you will be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video. So lovely. I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok and I thought to share with you guys where black women are actually reacting to what Andrew Schulz had to say about, Kendrick Lamar. And I was just able to put up some of those stitches. This actually was not sitting well with a lot of people, and black women are all out to react towards it, and they have so many messages to pass to black men. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think, and let's dive
Kendrick
into
Lamar
it.
is calling out white comedians who joke about black women, and fans are convinced he's directly referring to Andrew Schulz. Back in July, Andrew got a lot of backlash for what he said on a podcast episode. It was his podcast, which is called Flagrant. He had two guests on the show, and they were talking about the black girlfriend effect, which is the theory that when a non-black man starts dating a black woman, their style elevates, they start looking better and dressing nicer. Andrew's podcast guests were fellow comedians James Duncan and Fuhad Dawodu, and they were talking about the black girlfriend effect. In response, Andrew says they shave their head because they start losing it from being so stressed. Being around this black girl that's complaining about blank all the effing time. They grow a beard because there's more cushion when they get slapped. I think the black girlfriend effect might be a protective instinct. During the podcast, James and Fuhad, who are both black men, actually laughed along, but they later acknowledged that Andrew's comments were racist and they apologized. Andrew, however, did not apologize for his comments. He actually shifted the blame to James and Fuhad's producers. He said they had editing requests and asked him to take things out of the episode, but they did not ask him to cut that part. Andrew says with that joke about black women, nothing. He also accused them of apologizing only because of the backlash. Kendrick Lamar just released his new album. The first song is called Whacked Out Murals. In the song, he has a lyric that says, "Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman, that's law," especially when that white comedian refuses to take any accountability. According to DJ Academics, he spoke to Andrew, and Andrew said something along the lines of, "Is this guy too woke to understand a joke?" talking about Kendrick Lamar. Andrew's comments on Instagram are currently flooded with people talking about Kendrick. I personally think if you have to resort to making racially charged jokes, then you're probably not that funny in the first place, but let me know your thoughts down below.
Andrew Schulz making jokes about graping Kendrick Lamar is the development of black women not being protected. And this has been a conversation that we've been having as a society for decades. Like Malcolm X was having this conversation back in the 50s and 60s. And we are in 2024 still having the same conversation, that black women are the most disrespected and unprotected group of women. And when black women say this, a lot of black men think that black women are just complaining for the sake of complaining. But you need to understand that when your woman is unprotected, it means your community is unprotected. So now that white man who has finished clowning black women left, right, and center is now saying he would grape a man, a black man. See, the level of disrespect is there. It's like, if I can talk crap about your woman, why do you think I wouldn't talk crap about you? If I can disrespect your woman and there's no repercussions for my actions, why would I not disrespect you and make jokes about graping you? This is just the development of protect black women, respect black women. Now the disrespect is to the men. And for him to make a joke like that, it makes sense why he's friends with someone like Charlemagne. Because we know the allegations. We know the allegations that have come against him by black women. So we already know he doesn't respect black women. And does he protect black women? But this is the next step. And then you got that clown on his podcast laughing at the joke.
I had said that Andrew Schulz was going to be gassed about Kendrick Lamar mentioning him in his latest album, and what Andrew Schulz ended up saying about how if he wanted to sleep with Kendrick Lamar, Kendrick couldn't stop him was so much worse than I would have thought. He starts by saying, oh, well, you're welcome, Kendrick Lamar. Is rap so dead that you need to start talking about comedy now? Comedians are up. We're the second biggest headline from the album. And then he starts saying if he wanted to sleep with Kendrick Lamar, there's nothing that Kendrick could do about it, except for call it non-consensual. Now, how this came from a line about not speaking on black women, that's law as a white comedian, to, I'm just gonna essay and I know it's meant to be a joke about, I guess, his height. And what white men love to do is say, oh, this black man is so powerful and has all of this cultural credit in one way. Let me make fun of how powerless I could make him in my way. If just me and him were in a room together, how could I humiliate this black man that means so much to so many people? Because it always comes back to, well, how can I show my dominance over this black creative as a white creative? That's the tone. He's saying, oh, Kendrick Lamar, how can you be at the Super Bowl saying you want to protect black women? Well, regardless of what that conversation is, and there is a conversation to be had about like him wanting to take all his music off Spotify for R. Kelly. Andrew Schulz is not the one to lead that conversation. Do we understand? Like, as a case study, Andrew, and I'm not saying I don't think a lot of people are on Andrew Schulz's side, but Andrew Schulz is trying to take the context of Kendrick Lamar being at the Super Bowl and saying that Andrew Schulz shouldn't speak on black women. He's like, well, do you really protect black women? Do you notice how that is a valid point? Not for him to make. As somebody who Andrew Schulz, who consistently makes fun of black women, is not the one that we're going to listen to that from. But it's interesting how he goes from being like, oh, I'm a rancid comedian, like I could sleep with Kendrick Lamar if I wanted to, well, why didn't you care about R. Kelly then? Like, it's kind of fucked up that he does have access to like some certain woke lines in his brain, and maybe that's what made him this comedian in the first place. But don't let him speak on black women. That is law. Don't let him speak on Kendrick. That is law.
I'm going to explain to you why buck breaking, Andrew Schulz, Kendrick Lamar, black men, and this overall concept of black men's bodies is all tied together in under 2 minutes. Just please 2x it if you have to. But I'm just going to explain to you how all of those go together. So a little bit of definitions. We know that buck breaking is when they used to grape black men, black and slavery, to emasculate them and make them feel inferior as men, right? While everybody watched, right? The same way that white women back then used to wear costumes almost to replicate black women's bodies. They got jealous of black women's bodies because their men were looking at black women in a romantic, lustful, disgusting, devious way. But to them it seemed romantic. It seemed like, oh, what she got better than me? The same way that they tried to replicate our bodies back then, the same way they replicate our bodies now, right, is the same way that white men look at black men's bodies and get jealous. Why do we perceive it on the side as the white women with the goddamn, it's hard, as the white woman with the black woman, but we don't see it on the other side of the white man with the black man? It's the same situation. White men, the epigenetic shit that's in their DNA, that's coming from back then of trying to emasculate black men because they felt inferior based off just purely their bodies, is the same thing that we see going on nowadays. Which is why I've been trying to make this video for the longest, but I didn't know how to say it. I want to employ black men to look further than just their bodies. You are worth more than how much you can put down, how good you can put it down in the bedroom, how big your thing is, how well you can please a woman. That is the minuscule of what you are capable of. Yes, you are capable of. Yes, you guys are high in that demographic, high in that category. But that's the lowest category that you can be high in when it comes to representing yourself as a black man. You guys are kind-hearted people at your core. You guys are giving people at your core. You guys are loving people at your core. You guys are generous people at your core. You guys are smart people at your core. You guys are logical at your core. Those are the qualities and traits that we should start possessing and putting on a higher scale. Not possessing, but putting more energy into putting on a higher scale than just what your body looks like and just what you can do as quote unquote the society version of a man. The characteristic traits are much more important than what your body can do, because I'm speaking specifically on bodies. But let's tie in the Andrew Schulz and Kendrick Lamar. The only reason why that man said that he wants to unconsensually grape Kendrick Lamar because he felt offended is directly tied to the fact that the only reason why a white man is jealous of a black man is because of their bodies. Their bodies. They feel inferior because of their bodies. Like, that's it. And if you need more, read this book, The Psychology of Self-Hatred and Self-Defeat Towards Reclamation of the African Mind by Amos and Wilson. Mostly this book is talking to black men. I read this book on my page, talking specifically to black men. Almost about the same subject, but not really. That is why he said that specific thing. That is why he specifically said, oh, I can grape Kendrick Lamar. And that means that, you know, hey, whatever he said doesn't matter. Because I can grape him and I could do that to him. And it's like, what? You're weird as fuck. And that's nasty and that's weird. But I understand it, because in your mind, that's the highest thing that you can possess over a black man is their body. If you can take control of their body, that means you're higher than a black man because you're insecure of your body, is what I'm trying to say. When white people did all the shit that they did, for lack of better words, because I feel like when you get too specific, some things be off. But when white people did what they did, they only took the superficial. They only got jealous of the superficial. That's how fucking dense them niggas was. They only got jealous of the superficial. The white women only got jealous of the black women because of their bodies and the way that they looked and the power and energy that they possessed, but they only directly tied it to what they saw physically. They did not understand the true essence of being a black woman. The same with the men. They tied it to their physicality. They could protect the black women. They were strong. They were men, right? They were like, what's up? What's good? They directly tied that. Their jealousy is directly tied to the physicality of a black man. They do not understand the true essence of a black man. Happened to that, they couldn't understand that. That's why I tell each black woman, each black man to employ, to go further than the physical, because your essence is so much greater. The characteristic traits that you have are so much greater. The spiritual gifts that you have are so much greater than what you have physically. So once you tap into that, you are untouchable. You cannot be touched. You will not be touched. Do you understand? And I'm so happy Andrew Schulz said that, because I could finally put all them damn pieces together. And I really feel like this is opening up a topic as to what truly is going on and what truly is happening. Because it's so much deeper than physical. It's so much deeper than superficial. It's so much deeper than man and woman. It's about the true essence of who you are as a man, as a woman, and being God's people. Okay? All right. Hope that made sense. Have a great day. Love you.
Andrew Schulz is so corny. Like, I don't even know why he would think it's funny to make a joke about S.A. and Kendrick Lamar. I think it's so funny how Kendrick Lamar calls people out in diss tracks, and then shortly after he makes the diss track, the people that he calls out, like, they end up showing their true character, and then it's like, dang, that's why Kendrick called you out. I feel like we've all met an Andrew Schulz in our life, like this corny white guy looking for attention, just, you know, probably got picked on, had very, very cheesy, corny jokes, with hints of racism and misogyny, and just the jokes never really landed. Like, why is he even speaking on hip-hop culture, black culture, or anything? I don't even understand. And did y'all peep how that man next to him was like laughing mad hard? Like, the one boy, he was like, it almost felt like a forced laugh. And then the black guy was like, he's like kind of smirking and laughing, but I could tell, like, I'm like, he knew that joke was too far. He knew that joke wasn't funny. He's talking about, yo, you're wild, whatever he was saying. I'm just like, why did nobody on that couch call him out right there in the moment? Because that was so corny and so unexpected.
So you're telling me there are people who actually find Andrew Schulz funny? Who are those people? I need those people to stitch this video with a clip that will really make me laugh, because I've never seen a clip of Andrew Schulz and I'm like, that is funny, ha ha ha. Never. Every time I see a clip of him, it's bullshit. Always absolute insane bullshit, like every single fucking time. How do you never say anything that's ever made me laugh? That's ever made me like, what are you guys canceling him for? This is funny. It's never happened. So stitch this video and show me what is so funny that Andrew Schulz has said. Thank you.
Y'all, real quick. So Andrew Schulz, however you pronounce his name, I don't know. I don't watch that man stand up. I've never really cared. He literally knows that he has 30 minutes, you know. That is why he is trying to make the most out of this. He knows that this is a generational beef that happened this year. And the fact that his name wasn't even said, but the fact that something kind of might be related to him, he's making the most of it. And that's why you keep seeing this man talk about different stuff. Like, you were subtweeted in the song. Nobody really cares. I'm not trying to hear what you want to say. And then Charlotte McGay co-signing with everything. Like, they are just trying to attach themselves to the moment. And we just need to cut the 30 minutes off. I think he's at his time limit.
I ain't see one person say the joke was funny. Not one. Even the dudes who was on the podcast laughing, you could tell it was nervous laughter. Like, where are you going with this? It wasn't like, oh my God, this joke is so good. I haven't seen one person say it was a good joke. They're just defending his right to say it. And if you got to do that for a joke, something that's not supposed to be taken this serious, maybe, just maybe, it's a bad joke. And this goes deeper than just one desperate comedian. To the guys who hang out with guys who make rape jokes, understand one of you is a predator. Might not be you, but to have a friendship and develop an understanding where rape jokes fly, make no mistake, one of you guys is weird. Me and my friend, it could never happen in my friend groups. And we joke about awful things. We're no angels. We say some fucked up shit. But there's just certain shit that I'm just like, oh, you're weird. You're weird. This isn't even dark humor. You're just a dark individual. One of you guys has potential or is possibly already a perpetuator. This is a birds of a feather type thing. And just like Andrew Schulz, if you are making these jokes, you need to be touched. Pun intended.
As we all know, these jokes about Andre, wanting to, or he was like, he can actually do whatsoever he think that he has right to do to Kendrick. This actually sparked the whole of the internet reacting to it, and not forgetting that this same man also have some controversies to have with the way at which he calls upon all of these podcasters to his podcast to interview them, and with that being said, using the opportunity he has to, come directly to women, especially that looks like me. This man in question has actually had so many scandals about his podcast, and people are like, what is it even all about? Like, he keep on doing something or creating some kind of podcast that will just end up bringing women, black women more specifically, into the picture. And he did this with two guys from from the UK, with all of the ups and downs going around with the black and white women preference and all of that. And before you know it, he's already diverting the question in terms of trying to choose their preference. And he actually led these two guys from the UK, who happens to be black guys, to fall into his trap, into his temptation. Like, I see him as someone that is so tricky, and he knows that something like this pulls people to react, and he keep on doing it. He keep on looking for opportunity to do it. So I believe that Kendrick Lamar actually, released an album, and in the lyrics, some of the lyrics of the said album, he was like, most of these podcasters should be aware with the way he or whatsoever they are talks down about black women. Like, he is actually standing for black women, and Andre decided that, oh, he is referring to me. He never called name. The thing is that Kendrick always uses lyrics to, direct things, and the people that feels maybe they are guilty of this always come true. They always come to, you know, to make him understand that okay, you are talking to, even if he does not call your name, you already fallen the victim. And now Kendrick, well, now Andrew is like, okay, it's nothing, he's the kind of person that I can actually, you know, do whatever, or I can't even say the word. I can say the word, and this actually sparked a lot of controversy. People were now going back to the days during the time of slavery and all of that, and how these people, like, the thing is that the way at which people that is like me, black people, have this traumatic experience, like they have this black trauma in them. I think that pan-colored people, some of them also have a trauma. What am I saying? I'm saying that I'm trying to, like, okay, people often say that black people, some of them, they're angry maybe as a result of the generational trauma that they possess, because of the way at which they are being treated, or because of the way they were maltreated during the time of slavery. Generational trauma, like, it has to transfer from one generation to other. I believe that, will I use the word colonial masters, or the people, those pine-collar people that owned slaves or did whatsoever they did with the enslaved people, they also have transferred their own generational trauma to their generation. That is why, even till today, you see some pine-colored people like this still exhibiting what their ancestors has done to the ancestors of people that looks like me. I think it's the generational thing is still there. And it's as if that is what this man is still exhibiting. And the sister I stitched her video that is about 5 minutes long. She's trying to explain, how this has to do with the mentality, the generational thing, the slavery thing. I think she's absolutely spot on. She's really spot on. Because how would someone, okay, let's just assume that he is actually talking to you, which he probably did not call your name, but you just assume that he's talking to you because you are guilty of doing such a thing. You are guilty of trying to bring both black men and black women down using your podcast as a disguise. You, one way or the other, trying to bring them, and you keep on inviting, people that you can actually use to fuel all your egos and all of that. So why is it that something like that was said about black women? You should stay clear, and even if but you took it so personal, leaving the reply you were supposed to give, and you are bringing raping into it. If it's not what you have really, like, this is what's have been inside of you, like, I would not, deny the fact that I see jealousy. Just like the way at which the sister said, I see jealousy from some pan-colored men like this. They are jealous with the way at which I think black men are structured, are viewed, even right from the time of slavery. They feel so inferior, and they just want to use any kind of trick or whatever to drag them down. At the process, also dragging black women. Like, this is actually what I see. And I spotted on when the sister I stitched her video was trying to, like, give her own analysis. She's not even far from the truth. What I just see here is someone that is just jealous of black women and also jealous of black men. But he used a podcast as a disguise to keep, if he sees that there's a particular black man that is like, there's more to it, because you cannot be caught out countless time just because of it, like, because of some group of people. There are other races that you can invite to your podcast and make jokes about. There are other, why always people that looks like me? If he's not black man, it's black women. Like, get it over. Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one. Watch up to this extent. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright, lovelies, so please share, subscribe, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.